is that crooked? There we go. Come on. There it is. Oh, yeah. Chillin'. Chillin', chillin', chillin'. All right. It's a freaking perfect night out here. The fire completely freaking drowns out the lights on camera, though. But that's all good. Oh, it completely drowns it out. Well, that sucks. What up? We're just chilling by the fire. Little late night live. Hanging out, doing nothing. I think it's kind of late. I don't think anybody's going to jump in, but I'm going to chill here by the fire. Because why not? What else is there to do right now? What up? We're just chilling by the fire. Late night live. Don't really got nothing going on, but I figure might as well hang out and burn some wood and relax. Got one in, one thumbs up. Appreciate it, whoever you are. Probably missed the SoCal watching from work. But it's all good. Nope, it wasn't. All right. Figure nothing better to do and sit back, relax, light the fire up, and hang out. It's super peaceful and quiet out here tonight. The resort down the road doesn't have a band playing tonight, so I can actually hang out and not get copyrighted for their shitty music, which is kind of nice for a change. We got the little trippy lights going on, but the fire's kind of drowning them out. Hopefully it dies out a little bit and the lights kind of show up. It's a pretty chill vibe out here with those. I figure it's a perfect night, not a cloud in the sky, the stars are out. We got the trippy ass lights going on, we got the fire going. Might as well just hang out and chill. I was watching a stream earlier where I don't know how the dude managed to do it, but he made like fucking $5,000 in like 30 minutes. The whole stream was about he just kept telling people, tap the like button, hit the super chat. Whoever makes a super chat over X amount gets their name written on a freaking old busted out keyboard. Man, it kind of makes me want to start doing that. Like, how the hell? And this dude went from like, he hit like 500,000 subscribers. And then like 20 minutes I watched this thing, dude got like 1,000 subscribers, which was insane. I think my chat's all frozen up here. That or just nobody that's here was chatting. All right. Somebody type something in chat, even if you just tell me to fuck off. I want to see if it's actually working. Because I didn't figure being this late at night, many people jump in, but I figure why not come hang out and chill? As the fire's dying down, the little trippy lights are starting to show up a little more. Looks pretty cool out here with that going. Pretty sure it's only Mrs. SoCal in here right now. Yeah, pretty much. I wish I could play music. A little bit of freaking non-copyrightable music right about here would be freaking cool as hell. Hey, Rusty, welcome in. We're just chilling by the fire. Got the trippy little lights going. It's kind of a really cool vibe out here. We got nothing else going on. I should be like doing a bunch of shit in the house, but I don't feel like it. I feel like just chilling and relaxing. So I figure why not just hang out and get a little fire going. I got a little bit of wood, not a lot. I need to go re-up on the wood, but we figure throw in what we got and hang out and relax, man. Cause why not? Beautiful night out here. Not a cloud in the sky. It's like 70 degrees, 65 degrees out here, like no wind. We got a perfect night to be outside. So we got the fire pit in the backyard, so why not use it? Man, I was watching this. I was like doom scrolling earlier because I was bored, and saw this dude just fucking cleaning house on super chats, and all the dude was doing was writing people's names. I don't get it, man. Like, dude made like $5,000 in like less than an hour. I don't get it. It's freaking baffling. Makes me think I'm in the wrong business. The way this light filters through the smoke looks pretty badass. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it looks pretty sick the way the light filters through the smoke. We've been here, what, like almost 10 minutes, and we got 2 people that jumped in. I figured late night wouldn't really be my gig, but it's all good. It's all good. Figure most of the people that watch my channel are pretty much, asleep because, they're going to get up and be out in the deer woods in the morning, so why not? Why not be asleep at this point in time? I should be asleep at this point in time. It's like 10:15 and I'm out here just doing nothing. All right, let's see. I close that? How do I move that? Okay, that's like, hey, Rod, what's happening? Hey, that little stupid thing, is it like right in the middle of the screen? The little pole thing? I need to figure out how to, like, I don't know if you've noticed these on your streams all the time, all of a sudden, but like, they keep popping up these stupid little start a poll. Audio's really low. Really? The Hold on. I wonder if it's the volume on the phone if I turn that up. I don't know. But the mic's like right here. So then again, I'm kind of being quiet because, you know, it's out and it's 10:15 at night. And, yeah, it might. No, it's probably me. This thing's got to go away. How do I close this? Drag here to end Q&A. All right, now I got to like double tap it. What the hell? What the fuck? Oh, there we go. You got to like get it right. Perfect. That's stupid. Really? I don't know what the hell the problem is. Like, let me move the mic and see if that helps. It's up on my hat. Let me put it like right here in my freaking jacket. I don't know if that help any or is it still kind of shitty. I wonder if maybe that's what's going on with my streams lately. Fucking now audio muffled, super low volume. All right, let me reset this thing real quick. Give me a second. I'm gonna kill the mic and turn it back on. All right, is that actually better? I took the mic. I totally got rid of the mic. Does that help at all or no? I'm wondering if it's the mic or if it's actually just like something with my phone. Way better. So it's an issue with the mic. Okay. All right. Well, that sucks. So check this out. I know Rod's here. I don't know who else is here, but so I was doom scrolling a little while ago through the streams, and I ended up coming up on this stream where some fucking dude was just sitting there. He had like two phones going on the stream, and the phone or whatever it was he was streaming with. All the dude was doing was showing this like every few seconds or like 30, 40 seconds, he would show his phone that was watching his own stream, and he would say like, all right, all we need is one more person to go into the live and do this, and he would like tap the screen to hit like the thumbs up, and then he's like, well, write everybody's name down that subscribes. And he had his little, like, in the studio, you can get like your live subscription thing going. And hey, Drew, what's happening? So anyway, this dude kept doing that. That's all he was doing. And he'd be like, hey, anybody that gives a red super chat, because if you do the super chats, like, like under $2 is like blue, or and then it goes to like green for 5 to whatever, and then like $50 is pink, and then it gets the little super chat message turns red at like $100 or whatever, right? Because they're all color coded. So the guy's like, all right, if you do a red super chat, I'll I will write your name on this keyboard. And he's got like this broken keyboard. I watched this dude do nothing but that for like I was so freaking like baffled and amazed at how much fucking money this dude was making just doing that. I watched him for like 30 minutes. I counted like $4,000 that he made off fucking seriously doing nothing other than like telling people to hit the like button, and that everybody that subscribed, he would write their name down on this big old, he had like a big old piece of like construction paper, you know, like from back in fucking high school, or like, you know, high school, back in like kindergarten, like huge sheet of like, you know, construction like craft paper, you know, like the old school fucking weird ass like pressed board paper shit, right? And all he's doing is fucking writing people's names on it. And if you donated over $100 to a super chat, he'd write your name on a fucking keyboard, like some old washed up used piece of shit broken keyboard. This dude was cleaning fucking house. Like, I don't understand that. I mean, it was like tripping me the fuck out, because, dude, like, you know, somebody send a super chat and he'd be like, "Hey, Rod, right on. Thank you for the red super chat. Now, if you do, you know, a 300, like people are donating $150, like every, you know, every other super chat." And he'd be like, "Oh, Rod, thank you for the freaking red super chat. Now, if you do 300, I'll write your name on the keyboard. If you do a $500 red super chat, I'll make you a moderator on this channel." It makes no fucking sense to me, dude. Like, yeah, how the fuck are people donating to that, man? Like, we're in the wrong business. I fucking sent that to Mrs. SoCal. She's at work. And I sent it to her. Like the you know, like share the video. I sent that to her, and she's watching it at work, and she's like, "I don't fucking get it. I don't understand this shit. Like, how's this dude doing it?" Which just tripped me the fuck out. There's no making sense out of it. There's no making sense out of it, man. But I'm just like, I was fucking baffled by it. Like, the fact that this dude's over there just on a full-on money grab, and it's fucking working. You can't fucking stand it. Like, dude. I might have waited a little bit too long to put that last little log on. That's all good though. Oh yeah, I took my, yeah. I only walked away like 3 feet. You guys couldn't hear me over there. That, I don't know if it's like mic issues or what, but dude, that looks so cool. All the freaking lights are reflecting off the smoke right there. Yeah, the phone mic. Yeah. No, I just walked over to get another little piece of wood, but I don't know. Let me. I took the mic off. Let me turn it back on real quick and see if I can find it in my freaking pocket here. There we go. Let me plug it back in real quick and see if it makes any difference here. It should be on. I mean, it's on. Let's see. All right, plugging it in right now. Oh, come on. All right, did that fix it? Yeah, I don't get that little icon with these mics. I don't know what the deal is. Is it still all shitty though with this, or did it actually get better? Because I don't know what's wrong. It's a little better. All right. Let me see if it works for a little bit. slightly muffled, but way better than it was before. Let me take the little. Does this one not come off? I was trying to take the little wind thing. So, all right, maybe this will work. The mic's a little closer. Um, yeah, Drew, I actually finished it today. I didn't do it on camera because all I had to do was put the deck lids back on. Um, it sounds fine now. Okay, I don't know what it is with this mic. I'm wondering if it's like, because this came in a set of two, so I'm wondering if it's just the one that's kind of screwed up. Sounds fine. Okay, we're good. So yeah, I actually got the all the deck lids on, so it looks pretty good. Um, I'll do a little walk around, like short of it tomorrow. The the steps really stand out, which is kind of what I wanted. Um, so I want the steps, and I got a locker right down the center of the hole, like in the cabin, between the passenger and the driver's seat. And I'm gonna do that when I'm not gonna do the floor for a minute in the cabin area. I basically just did the front deck and the stern because that's where you fish from, basically. Um, the way it's set up, I think you guys have probably seen it on the lives. But the way the boat's set up is you can fish off the stern. It's got a nice big platform back there, and the bow's got a nice big platform. And the cabin area, there's the two main seats, and then it's set up basically exactly like a truck. You got the two freaking the driver's seat and the passenger seat, and then the back seat you got like a split bench. Um, but I'm gonna do the floor in there, and I'm gonna do that middle cabin with that same or that middle locker with that same camo, so that the steps and that middle locker really stand out against everything, just in case um, shit happens. If I fall off the boat or somebody else falls off the boat and there's a mad scramble, all you got to say is, between the seats, there's the camo locker. Open that. There's the life jackets and throwables and all that. So it'll really stand out. So what'd you find on the rectifier? Um, I was kind of thinking about that a little more, and if that's putting out too much, if the rectifier's going bad and it's letting too much power slide through, there's a possibility that's why you were having the issue. I'm curious to find out what you learn and what you figure out the problem is, because I'm gonna be doing the same thing to my boat when I rewire it as you just did. It's unregulated. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. So if it's not regulating like it should be, it's gonna just throw out whatever that freaking stator. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense now. It's gonna throw out the full power of that stator, and that could freaking be part of the issue why it's freaking trying to say it's overcharged. Yeah, that's true. And with all these new gel batteries and all that shit, it could be a totally different animal now. Okay. Okay. So that's probably why, because you should be putting like 13 to 14, maybe 15 volts to your charge. So that's probably what's going on. Then it's thinking there's way too much power coming through, and yeah, the lower resistance, and then these new batteries are tripping out, thinking there's something wrong because it's getting the full power and not that 12 to 14 volts that it wants. That makes sense. That makes a bunch of sense now that I think about it. So, did you find a solution for that? That's the problem. Okay. Well, yeah, the stator is as the RPMs kick up, the stator will absolutely increase the power, um, which is why I could not run my quad, my Banshee. When I was racing the Banshee, I could not turn the headlights on with that bike just idling. Um, Otherwise, it would kill it because they would just suck way too much power. I actually had to up my stator to 160 watt to be able to, you know, even power those lights that I had. Because I had two 9-inch HID lights. Yep, that happens, honey. That happens. You don't doom scroll at night because you'll see some things that can never be unseen. Yeah, I've seen more than my fair share. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that it does because if it's not, so what'd you find for a solution on that? Oh yeah, that channel's I've seen that one. Hey, are you coming home at 11 or are you staying until 3? Because I really haven't done shit in the house. I mean, I did the dishes and cleaned up the kitchen a little bit, but I didn't put laundry away or anything. So I'll just have to do that in the morning. I wanted to have it done when you got home, but you know, it is what it is. So what's the solution? Is it going back to lead core batteries or CDI Electronics makes an aftermarket regulated rectifier? Okay, okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, 10-hour shift on your day off is more than enough. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna try to get this fire to kick up a little bit. I gotta. I waited a second too long to add wood, so now I gotta go mess with it and hope I don't totally freaking put it out. What I'll do is I'll just add smaller wood to what's already on fire. Or, there we go. Get it so we got a little more airflow. There she goes. Come on. Kick up, girl. How can I burn the whole neighborhood down, but I can't keep a fucking little fire lit in the backyard? Yeah, when I was a kid, I burned down the whole fucking neighborhood, guys. Well, not the whole neighborhood, but a good part of it. I was playing with matches, being an idiot, and you know, lit a couple weeds on fire, which lit a couple more weeds on fire, which lit a couple more weeds on fire, which lit a lot of shit on fire. There we go. Come on. Kick off there a little bit. Really? You can do me like that? Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. I did not want to do that. There we go. There we go. All right. All right, let me come back over here where I can see chat. All right. Wait, hold on. Let me scroll back. Let's see. I missed a button. Hey, Jeff, welcome in. Oh, it's only $100. Okay, that's not bad. That $100 is worth it for that. Works with a giant range of ebony. Okay. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, we had a great day. Went and did some planking with the pews this morning. Finished up the boat. Hell yeah. So I do have a voltage meter and all that on the boat. It's old school. It's analog. It's not digital. But the problem is, it's in the wiring. So the wiring. This guy that I got the boat from, he did so much hokey shit in the wiring. I've traced a few of them up to like some of the gauges, and he's got 3 to 4 splices in one lead or one run of wires. So hey, Anthony, welcome in. So I know I got shorts in there somewhere just by looking at what this dude did. I pulled the you know how your nav lights stick down into little, they got the 2-pin nav light that you just kind of stick down into the pins. I pulled the housing out for that, and within like a 2-foot section, he's got like 4 different spots where he's cut and spliced that wire and that's just on the stern on the anchor light. So yeah, the 2-pin sockets. Yeah, so he's got so much funky shit that he did in there that I just need to go through and rip all the wiring out. So my gauges, like if I hit a wake just right, all my gauges will work. And then when it kind of settles, they all go back out. Traded for a camper, yeah. You know what's funny is my buddy, good buddy of mine, he's the one I go riding and shooting with. He started his business. It's been about a year, almost a year to the day. Um, he started a business. He's an electrician, and he'd been with the same company for 10 years, and kind of got fed up with their bullshit and went and got licensed, went out on his own. He did a job, uh, I don't know, March, I guess, March, April, somewhere in there, where he did a panel upgrade for some lady. She lives somewhere up in Washington. Her parents, she grew up out here. Her parents had a house out here. Um, Parents passed away, not, you know, mom passed away, then dad passed away. They left the house to her. Um, she wanted to put it on the market to sell it, and it didn't pass the electrical inspection because of the panel. So she hired my buddy to do the panel, and she had a trailer sitting there, beautiful trailer, camping trailer. Um, and he was asking like what she was doing with it, and she goes, "Well, I need to sell it." And she was telling him that they had some family come out for Thanksgiving, 2023, I think it was, and they needed an extra room, so they bought the trailer for the family to stay in for a week in their driveway. Um, there was like three family members that slept in it for the week. It hasn't been used other than that 1 week, so they ended up trading um, the labor for the trailer. Smoking fucking deal. So let me see. You're reading about cause all sorts of wonkiness and system. Yeah, I'm um fluctuates, it heats and cools. So my problem right now is that I'm pretty much set on I have to rewire that boat. Um, just because everything that I did is so funky in there. Um, he had the trim wired backwards in the actual throttle, so I had to trim up to go down. Um, you know, so the trim button on the actual motor itself, um, if you push up, it went up. You push down, it trimmed down. That's actually on the outboard itself. You got your trim button, but at the helm on the throttle, my up was down, my down was everything was reversed. So I really think that it's all got to be rewired. It's all got to be rewired. So hey, Falcon, welcome in. We're just chilling, trying to burn some wood in the backyard, but it doesn't really want to burn. Like it keeps wanting to go out. It's dry. It's been freaking sitting out here for like a year and a half. Yeah. Problem is though, like, um, I'm not going to be able to troubleshoot the rectifier with the wiring all fucking rat's nested um, until I get the wiring dialed in. Um, yeah, I'm just running a freaking standard ass. What is it? I don't even know what freaking brand it is. It's the whatever the AutoZone brand battery is. Um, the marine battery from AutoZone. So, and then I have the what's the battery for my trolling motor? Um, AGM, I think. I think it's an AGM battery. I'm not sure. I'd have to really. Yeah. So right now I have it hooked up to the battery tender on the main crank battery. Um, I have a secondary battery in there that dude bought. Apparently the battery died in the boat, and he went and bought a battery at Walmart. So it's the like EverStart or whatever brand, shitty piece of crap Walmart battery. Um, so I have that in there, just sitting there unhooked as a backup, just in case. And I had that. It was down to like 6 volts because it had just been sitting, and I put that on the charger, and it came up to like 13.5, I think it was at. So I took it off this morning, and I want to see what it's sitting at tomorrow. But right now, um, the main cranking battery, the starting battery, is on the tender. So, and it's been, I had it off I charged it all the way up, took it off for a couple of days, and it was still sitting at the same voltage I left it when I unplugged the charger. So that battery should be fine. Um, yeah, it was sitting like right there. Like I gotta remember if it was 12.5 or 13.5 or whatever, but it was like right. It was perfect. Um, yeah, and the 13 when it was showing the 13.5, it was on the tender. So you know, it's probably showing me a little bit more than it's actually gonna hold. But I took that one off. The main cranking battery is off. The secondary house battery is on right now on the charger. Um, so I'm gonna check them all again tomorrow and see where they're all showing me. And I'm pretty sure that the one I had in the one that my main battery, my cranking starting battery, is only a couple of months old, and I unhooked everything from that battery because dude had everything. The entire boat minus the trolling motor was wired to one battery. So now that I have the two batteries in there plus the trolling motor battery, which is dead as a doornail, my charger won't even try to charge it. Um, well, see, that's the thing is I have the two battery set up so I can have a house battery and a crank battery. I actually have three with the trolling motor battery. My little charger that I have is just my battery tender, basically, for the bikes. So it's a low volt, slow charge. Um, but it's the trickle charge with the maintainer and all that. Um, no, I don't have. So the way everything was set up when I bought the boat. Um, why do you smell bong water? Probably because you spilled it, dude, and you're never gonna get rid of that stench. Um, no, when I bought the boat from the dude, he was actually using the starting battery as the house battery as well. So everything was wired into one battery. He's got a mess of spaghetti web of shit wired to the one battery. So I'm going to put the other battery in there. Um, and basically, all I'm going to wire to the house battery is the fish finder. Right? That bong wire stench is like fucking diamonds. It does not go away. It's forever, and you can freaking kill people with it. Fucking sharp enough stench to cut glass. So yeah, I need to fully rewire that thing. And my buddy was here today, my electrician buddy, and he's like, "Bro, I got all the material to do it. Um, we'll just come up here one day and do it." So he's going to donate his labor and his material to help me out. But he's booked solid through like January. So I told him, I'm like, dude, no hurry, um, just do it when you can. We'll get it all figured out. For right now, um, if I have the starting battery working, I'm good with not having nav lights and gauges and all that shit. Um, our lakes out here are not big enough that I need, you know, any of my gauges for anything. Um, there's the biggest lake out here, San Vicente. I could go from the no wake zone right outside the boat launch because all the boat launches here have like a no wake zone. Um, um, but I can go from the no wake zone, which is 100 yards, maybe 200 yards from the end of the courtesy dock of the boat ramp, and I can put the hammer down on that boat, and I can be at the other end of the lake and freaking beach it in like 3 minutes. So, oh yeah, dude, the marine grade shit is so expensive, so expensive. But he's got all that shit um, just sitting there. So he did a job for somebody, ordered a whole bunch of freaking material for it, and he's got like freaking 450 some odd feet of wire left. He said, "Hey, Zara, welcome in. We're just chilling, hanging out by the fire that doesn't really want to burn, and hanging out talking shit because why not?" Aldridge, how you been, man? It's been a while. Good to see you. Toasty testies, baby. Oh yeah. This fire's pissing me off. Like this wood doesn't want to burn. It's freaking dry ass wood too. Oh yeah, dude. It's like they say, boat fucking bankruptcy on a trailer. Every time you think, oh, it's gonna be $100, it's gonna be a grand. It's gonna be a grand or more. I'm really contemplating on basically doing a flip on this boat. Finish the flooring, redo the wiring. It's got brand new bilge pumps, brand new live well pumps. Um, I can go get an old piece of shit trolling motor to throw on it. Throw a trolling motor on it, and flip that damn thing. Two gauge red, two gauge black, 10 gauge. Jesus, that's a lot of wire. That's a lot of wire. See, I talked to I was going through just kind of checking everything out the other day because the boat, I haven't had it in the water since the incident with the rope getting sucked up into the prop. Um, so you're bad. What do you mean you're bad? You're good, Aldrich. You know my channel. Freaking no rules, just right. Well, don't be a fucking douchebag. That's the only rule, really. Um, um, what was I saying? Oh, I'm kind of thinking about rewiring it, finishing the flooring, throwing like a cheap ass used trolling motor on there, and flipping that thing. So I'm going to. I want a bigger boat. I want something I can get out into saltwater with. So when I was calling around, I was kind of just checking everything out after the rope incident, and I took the cowl off the motor and was checking the plugs and all that. Had it running. Making sure everything's running right. Checked the plugs. Checked everything. Um, and I noticed that there was a piece of tubing that comes off my freaking telltale. That the telltale itself is like 3/16 tubing that comes to the actual port for the telltale, the little pee hole. And off of that, there was a piece of 3/8 that was just like laying in the freaking case. Um, so I couldn't figure out where that freaking tubing went. So I called around. I freaking checked like every website I could find to freaking see if I could find like a diagram to see where it went. Finally got a hold of a place, and they're like, no, actually, on that specific motor, because the guy finally asked me, like, what freaking motor do you have? What specific freaking model number? And I gave it to him, and he's like, okay, yeah, that specific model number, that's just a vent on that tubing. But he told me, he's like, we don't work on those motors anymore, those old Johnsons and the old Mercs, because they don't make a lot of parts for them anymore. He's like, you can get aftermarket, but they're not always going to be the exact same, fit or whatever. You might have to modify a thing here or two. But he was like, I have a 90 horse right now with 40 hours on it that I'll sell you installed, full power repower on the boat, which included all the wiring from the helm all the way back to the freaking motor. He's like, 11 grand. And I'm thinking, um, 11 grand sounds great and all, but for 11 grand, I can go out and buy a freaking ocean boat. It'll need a little bit of TLC, but probably some floor work, but 11 grand, man. So, but the way I look at it is, even when we do leave here, um, I want a saltwater boat that's trailerable. I don't want something that I need a slip for. So I'm looking at like probably like a 26 to 32 foot, like the old trophy, the old Bayliner trophy, something like that. Something that I can actually, I'll be able to put in a lake as well. Um, Nothing like, Pishkin where, you know, you need a freaking Kong dong to get the boat in right now. I wouldn't be able to do that. But, um, you know, I want something that I can hit freshwater as well as saltwater with, which I could hit saltwater in my boat right now, but my freeboard is so low that I'd have to have perfect glass calm day. So no, and see that's the other problem right there too is I would need like, the 2500 might do it, but I'd have to step the truck up to like the 3500. And if I'm going to do that, I'm going with a freaking Sierra Denali, you know. So $120,000 on a truck to pull the boat. But, hey, if I hit the lotto, not a big deal, but you know, if right now, I don't my truck's only a V6. So, I would need basically, the 35 series, because Chevy's got the 3500, GMC's 3500. Ford's what the F-350. So I'd need the 35 series to pull the freaking ocean boat, diesel, 4-wheel drive. Because I'm sure everybody that tows a boat has been at the boat ramp before, where it's a little slimy and it gets kind of sketchy to get the boat out of the water in 2-wheel drive. So, and the saltwater ramps here, they're a little slimier. So definitely want that 4-wheel drive, but I don't know. And even if I do move, well, if when we do move, get the fuck out of this state, I could leave the boat at my buddy's house and fly out and fish whenever. All right, I think it's what 80% water in the human body. Yeah, the problems start at the ramp. So if you have a V8 in California, are you taxed? If you have a V8 in California, um, you're taxed out the ass on gas, and um, everybody looks at you like you're a piece of shit. So we live where I'm at is like the absolute farthest end you can get of San Diego County. I'm seriously 6 miles from the county line. Um, when I go west, and if you get on like, so the 15, Rod knows the 15 because he drives the 15. The 15 goes from California all the way up to Canada, I believe. Um, so it's a major, major north south artery through San Diego. When you get into San Diego and you get into like the 805, which turns into the 5, which goes all the way up, I believe, to Washington. But you get on those major north south interstates in California or San Diego. Um, most of the, like, I guess you'd call them like upper middle class to like upper class neighborhoods are kind of north end of the county. Um, but as you get on those freeways, all you see is fucking Tesla after Tesla after Tesla after Prius and even that stupid little Honda freaking hybrid thing. It's all these freaking hybrids and electric fucking pieces of shit everywhere. And because of them no longer paying the tax when they buy gas, because our state taxes on gas are the highest in the country. Um, and that's, supposedly what they're supposed to be using to build the roads was, build and maintain was the tax from the gas. But because those dudes aren't fucking paying tax anymore on gas, um, they're trying to charge us per mile to drive now. So yeah, we get taxed the fuck if you have a V8. That and an F-250. Oh, yeah, the F-250s. I mean, you get the right motor in the F-250, and it'll do freaking good. Yeah, 26. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? The gas prices sucked with no national tax? What are you talking about out here? No, yeah, there's no additional tax for the V8 itself. Um, you know, other than your gas and your registration. Um, that's the fucked up thing with trucks in California is they cost you way more to register every year. Yeah. No, there's no tax on the motor side, so you can have like freaking. I mean, look at like what is it? The Jaguar, I think. The Jaguar, and I think it's the might be the Bentley has the V12 in it, and all they pay is the extra gas and the extra freaking registration. The fucked up thing is like I wanted to do. I love my truck. It's been a great truck. It's got 200 and about to roll over to 250,000 miles. But I bought that truck for $2,800 in 2016, and it's been a great truck. I was halfway debating on when it comes time to replace it to just do a motor and basically a whole drivetrain swap on it. Can't do that in California. They won't let you swap. If I were to put a motor in that truck legally, I would have to put another freaking with a 4.42. Yeah, it's a 4.2 um, V6. Little gutless fucking wonder. Because I wanted, I was thinking about like, if I got to replace that truck, I might as well just put a freaking, you know, a brand new fucking V8 in there, or crate motor. But I can't do that in California. So the thing with the turbo is that the turbo is really good um, until the turbo has a problem. And then once the turbo has an issue, then things go really bad really quick. You get some power out of it, but they go bad quick. If you're using it a lot. The Ford fucking Ranger. I've had two Ford Rangers and they both did me well right until they didn't. I sold so my last Ranger that I had when I moved to Vegas. Um, I was coming home from work one night, and I lived like out in the middle of fucking nowhere in Vegas. Also, like I was out in the boonies, and I was coming home one night, and the idler pulley froze up on it. Fucking smoked my belt and snapped my belt. Well, me being a fucking idiot was like, oh, I can make it home. So I tried to make it home, thinking like, oh, it's fucking freezing out here. It's cold. I'll be fine. Got home, and the freaking motor shut. Like 10 feet from my driveway, the motor locked up. So I knew at that point, like, okay, I fucking fried it. Because, the water pump wasn't working and all that shit now, because, serpentine belt. So, ended up cracking one of the heads. So I went and put new heads on it. Um, Basically rebuilt fucking half the motor. And got another idler pulley. Put the idler pulley on, had the motor totally redone, ready to go. Driving to work, the fucking idler pulley froze up again. Same fucking thing happened. Cracked the brand new heads, freaking whole 9 yards, right? So I ended up selling it. But my other Ranger, um, the only reason I got rid of that was because I needed a bigger truck. Come Come on, man. There we go. All right, hold on. Let me fuck with this a little bit, guys. And I think I need to get this log up a little higher to get some air under it to get it going. I don't understand why this shit doesn't want to burn. There we go. But yeah, I was. That's back when I was racing all the time, and um, I just needed a bigger truck. The Ranger just wasn't fun to, basically pull all my shit out to the race and camp out of and all that. I needed something with a little more room. So I ended up getting rid of that and that's when I got my Sierra. And fucking that Sierra was beautiful. I fucking loved that truck. I had that 2500 Sierra. And that thing ended up freaking falling apart on me. The old oh man, yeah, the old square bodies. I'd love to have an old fucking square body truck. Like the old fucking mid 80s F-150s. You know what I really want? And it's damn hard to find, is the original F-100. Fires done to the state of California to cause cancer. A fire safe additive to be applied to all firewood sold in the state. Right? Right? Dude, we bought a thing of strawberries at the store, and they had that fucking Prop 65 warning on it. Like, these strawberries may cause cancer. Really? Yeah, no, this tree is definitely not California legal or safe. It's actually this tree, this big ass tree I'm sitting under. This is branches that I cut off of it that were hanging over towards the power lines and shit. So they call it a tree of heaven. It's the tree from hell, man. This fucking thing. So I was doing some research on this tree, and I didn't realize how bad it was until I went and helped a buddy of mine out on one of his jobs. So this tree of heaven is like an invasive species, and it's so invasive that the roots will start popping out freaking suckers everywhere up to like 100 feet away. So both of my neighbors have a couple of these things that are starting to grow in their yards that are suckers. I have a bunch out here by the back fence that I got to cut down all the time. And then when you cut them, they grow more. But I didn't realize how bad it was until I went and helped a buddy of mine out on a job out here. And the property had probably a 3-acre section of trees that were just all this fucking tree of heaven thing. And I was asking the lady about it, and she said they just kind of gave up the fight because they had one originally in their yard. And she's like, within 2 years, it just started taking over everything. In Texas, in a hot tub, didn't see nothing, right? Right? I didn't see shit. Negative ions on the sea can cause cancer, or can cure cancer. So here's the thing, like there's a cure for cancer, there's a cure for AIDS, there's a cure for all that shit. There's no money in the cure. There's money in the medication, but not the freaking cure. Plus population control. You know, I mean, look at fucking Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, you know, back in what, the late 80s or early 90s or whatever it is, he ended up fucking with AIDS. And they started calling him like Tragic Gone Soon and shit, you know. And then all of a sudden he fucking doesn't have it. It's because the dude had the money to pay for the fucking treatment or the cure. His name is Magic. Yeah. His fucking bank account was magic in that situation. So funny shit, funny story. I don't know if you guys heard or not, but did you guys hear about the fucking frat at was it UC North Carolina, Wilmington? That Magic? No, he was a freaking NBA basketball. So there's this frat. Mrs. SoCal was telling me about this morning. She's full of like useless and weird information. Um, Apparently, over the weekend, um, was the Marine Corps ball and all that bullshit, right? they're celebrating like 250 years of the Marine Corps. It's freaking Labor Day coming up. All that shit. Actually, I think today might be Labor Day. I don't know. I lost track of holidays and all that shit when I quit working. But anyway, there's this frat whose um, initiation for all their new pledges was to go out and jump Marines and take their ID. Well, apparently, a bunch of freaking frat boys started trickling into urgent care, beat to shit, and didn't want to say anything. Um, Come to find out, they picked the fucking weekend where the most Marines were in town for the Marine Corps ball. And, they were a little drunk and they're Marines and they're, taught to kill. That's their job. And these fucking idiot frat boys went out thinking they were going to freaking jump a bunch of Marines and take their freaking military IDs and shit for their freaking initiation for their frat. It did not go well, as you would imagine. It did not go well for these frat boys. But I kind of thought that was like a funny little story she had to bring up this morning that, these frat kids thought they could go fucking beat up Marines and steal their ID. It's like, first off, how many of these people are coming back, going to the Marine Corps ball that have been in combat and have fucking PTSD and, have had to fucking kill people hand to hand and shit, Or the ones that haven't been in combat yet and want to know what it feels like to kill somebody. Like, dude, you picked the wrong fucking people to fuck with in that case. I thought it was pretty fucking funny how that went down. All right. Float like a bubble, pop like a hurricane. I like that one. I like that one. Point like a float guard, sting like a center. That's hilarious. Ah, fuck, you guys. I can't wait till, so, it looks like I'm going to be fishing Wednesday and Thursday. So, Wednesday, Mrs. SoCal and I are going to go out to a little spot on the Colorado River and bank fish it. She does not like being on the boat. I gotta find a way to make her comfortable on the boat. So we're gonna be out there fishing Wednesday. We'll do a marathon out there because it's a 2-hour drive out there. We got to go basically into Arizona and then swing up the river and then cross back over the river to the California side. So that'll be Wednesday. And then Thursday, um, all you guys that follow Crappy Man, Turner, know that I always joke with him about how I got to come out and fish the real Lake Murray because our Lake Murray sucks. Well, I'm taking. My dad's been bugging me since he moved out, bugging to go fishing, and I figured I need to take him out, get him out, and get him out fishing. Because honestly, I haven't even seen him since he freaking moved out. So what I'm gonna do is Thursday morning, gonna wake up, go pick up Dad, and we're gonna go fish our version of Lake Murray. Our Lake Murray out here, and I'm gonna throw nothing but Crappy Man baits on Lake Murray. So we'll have a bank fishing live on Wednesday with Mrs. SoCal, and then Thursday we'll be on the boat fishing with Pops, which is like fishing with a toddler, but that'll be Crappy Man only jigs. So that'll be kind of a fun day. Come on, fire, fucking burn. I'm sick of having to throw freaking weeds and shit in here to get it to keep going. Holy shit. All right, give me a second, guys. I gotta get this fire going up a little bit more. I'm seriously just throwing leaves in here to get it to keep going. The problem is, like, it's dark, and I don't want to end up, like, picking up a handful of fucking dog shit, because I haven't cleaned up the dog shit in the yard lately. Oh, come on. All right, hold on. Oh, I'm smoking out my whole yard. Damn it. Fucking light looks cool with all the smoke, but come on, man. There she goes. There she is. Actually, I should have put one of those smaller ones under this bigger one. Keep that like elevated and get. I just fucked up. I'm a bad pyro. That's just shitty wood that doesn't like to burn. You guys hear all those coyotes? My dogs are about to start going off on them. All right, hang on. Trying to get this thing to freaking go good. Just threw way too much on there and put it out. Come on, man. Really? Like these leaves don't even really like to burn. There they go. This wood just isn't really that flammable. I don't know what the problem is with it. There we go. Should start going again. Hopefully. I'll toss another little stick on there. I need to just quit fucking with it now. But, you know. There we go. Hopefully it'll stay. But, you know, it's that California fire retardant wood. All right. It's actually pretty freaking chill out here with the fire going, the light. All right, what did I miss in chat while I was over there putting the fire out? Right? Fucking. No, I put an oversized stator in my quad. No, it was not on the outboard. It was on the. I used to race a Banshee, Yamaha Banshee, and I put the 160 watt stator in that. So I haven't done shit to my outboard that I have. I mean, I'm sure you could. I'm sure they make one for the outboard, but no, I put it in my quad that I was racing because those headlights I had on there, I had the 9-inch it was a 9-inch PIA HID lights on that thing, which were fucking ridiculously bright, but they were pulling like 50 something fucking watts each for the HID. So I needed the extra power output of that stator, but those lights even with the big stator in it, those hey Rivers, welcome in. Even with the big stator, that light, I couldn't idle the motor with those lights on. They would just immediately overpower the entire system and shut it down. Hey, cheers, fucker. Right on, Aldrich. Thanks for being here, man. It was good to see you. Nine amp is so that's about what it should put out is 9 amp on that motor was what the specs I came up with when I was kind of looking at it a little bit. Says that you should be putting about 9 amps. I think I think you're like 100 watt, 120 watt. Yeah, and see that's where it's going to get. Yeah, Rivers will be on the boat Thursday. Yeah, 9 amps isn't a lot with the lighting, the fish finder, the all of that. 9 amps isn't you don't think you think it sounds a lot, but it's nothing to draw 9 amps with all the shit. Yeah, if you're over it by a little bit, you'll be okay. But if you're only putting out 9 and you're pulling 18 to 20, which is about where I was at with my quad with my Banshee. Those lights were they were pulling I want to say they were pulling like 12 to 15 amps each light, and I had two of them. Yeah, if you can keep your overall like drawdown on well, you're running fucking all day into the night. So, but I'm not sure if you can put I don't know if they make the bigger stator for the boat or not. Um, I know that you can have them rewound, um, and kind of increase your power output of your stator by rewinding it. I know Ricky Stater does it. Um, I don't know if there's anybody local to you up in Montana that might do it. I mean, there's got to be some kind of performance shops up there for bikes and quads and off-road vehicles and all that shit out there somewhere. Um, but I know for a fact Ricky Stater does it. Yeah, because what's the starting pulling? It's pulling like 3 amps or 5 amps or something on startup, right? I remember you saying it was something crazy for startup. It caps at 10 amp. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that could be an issue if you upgrade. Because then your upgrade is doing you no good. You're still going to be capped on your output. And see, that's going to be hard to do without no, because your stator is going to put out different at different RPM levels. Why'd that light just go out? Did I just turn it off or something? Yeah. Okay. I hit the button on the remote. I thought we had an electrical issue for a minute there. That would have tripped me out talking about electrical issues, and all of a sudden I got an electrical issue at the house. Yeah, I can't even find a factory service manual for my motor. There's a place. I'll have to look it up. I got a bookmark somewhere. Um, I'll look it up and send it to you. It was they had all of the service manuals online at this place, and I cannot remember what the name of it was. Um, but they may have the one for your motor. Um, I mean, I think the only thing that might be different on it would be a little lower end on yours, but you know, you should be able to find one for the jet drive separately. But I don't know. I'm gonna look into that because I'm thinking with everything I really need to run on the boat, I need to run all the same stuff you need to run on your boat, Rod. Lights. I want to add freaking driving lights for the nighttime. Um, I need my freaking nav lights. I mean, it's not like I'm able to fish out here at night unless I go to the bay. I really don't want to run that boat in salt water. But now that I found this new spot, that's on the river, so I can run that 24/7. So let's see what I miss in chat. See, I was thinking about kind of that same thing, like the turbine. I was thinking like a wind turbine, um, for like the electric cars and shit. I just don't know how it would work. Yeah, that's bullshit. They're selling them for fucking sections. Hey, real Texas, welcome in. We're just chilling to hanging out. Finished up the boat today, so figured I'd sit out here in the backyard, have a beer by the fire. Yeah, so I know that the stator on my quad, and I keep referring to the quad because that's the only thing I've actually really ever had to swap the stator in. So that's my only hands-on experience with the stator. Um, I know that it at idle speed, it put out like just enough power to keep the bike running, just enough to throw spark to the plug, basically, and basically run the motor. Um, as I gave it more RPM, um, it was producing a lot more power. Um, that bike didn't have a battery on it either. It was an old two-stroke with no battery. So the only things that were running on the stator itself was the basically the ignition system and the lighting. But I noticed that up in the higher RPMs, the lighting would actually get brighter because it was able to freaking throw more power to them. Like down low, like I said, it wouldn't idle with the lights on because they were pulling so much power. But just kind of cruising just enough, in like first second gear to keep the lights on. They were super dim, but the higher the RPMs came up, the brighter those things got. And I would be running that thing at night, six gear pinned wide open, and I'd be out in the desert on that thing, and it would actually piss off people coming the opposite direction because those lights were so bright they would blind them. I keep I keep getting lost with chat. You're saying that the turbine would have to be low or large to have any effect. Um, I don't know how it would have to depend on the design of the turbine and how much freaking water it's moving through the charging system. Wouldn't even get a full 9 amp charge unless you're running it like 3/4 throttle. And yeah, yeah, that's my experience with the stator is that the higher RPM, the higher that stator's spinning, basically, the more it's going to put out. But Yeah, you're right. Technology was all considered like sci-fi and fucking futuristic and not possible, and now it's like yesterday's news. Oh yeah, with those lights on there, I was definitely fucking pulling more power than I could put out. So output versus draw to figure out just how much stuff you can actually move. Yeah, yeah, but the tidal turbines are fucking massive. I think it's all going to come down to so like with the stator, it depends on how fast that stator spins, um, on what it's going to put out. So it would be the same with the turbine. If you can get that turbine spinning at a freaking high rate of speed while you're still going low, then you probably put out some good power. But you know, it's all going to depend on the inner workings of the turbine, I would think. Yeah, and see, I'd love to be able to have like, you know, everything on the boat hooked up to the house, just like you can in the truck. But your truck with the alternator, you're out, you're putting out freaking a good amount of power. So a little wind turbine, possibly, yeah, yeah, depending on the output, though. Yeah, right. It'd be a fucking lightning rod, or you know, you freaking forget that it's turning, and you stand up, and freaking all of a sudden you're getting whacked in the head by the freaking blades. Yeah. Now, I mean, there's probably a way to do it. I mean, look at those little turbine fans they have now, like for your house. They're like just a little freaking. There's no blades, no nothing, but they move a shitload of air. So you could figure out something like that. But then again, you still got it freaking out there in the ether waiting for freaking lightning. They have the solar stuff out there, but it's not. I don't think it would be too conducive to walking around on. I'm waiting for the day they come out with like solar paint. Rename the channel to Lightning Rod. No, watch. One of these days they're gonna come out with a freaking like an elastic roof paint that's gonna be solar. You'll have to, you'll run freaking some sort of wiring through it somehow or whatever, and you know, your roof will be an entire solar panel, or your car or whatever. Which I'm not sure why they haven't done that already with like the electric cars. Put a freaking like Tesla. So Tesla has the when you hit the brakes, it freaking somehow, some way, freaking uses that friction to create power to charge your battery. But you would think they would put some sort of like a wind turbine would be perfect. A reverse freaking turbo setup at the front of your car that freaking spins and you know spins the alternator or whatever and charges your freaking battery. infinite freaking battery life that way. Yeah, there's been a bunch of solar stuff come out in the last few years. The question is like, how reliable would it be though? Yeah, the regenerative braking is with yeah, but you would think like, okay, so if they could do that, right? If they can do the technology for the brakes, so that your regenerative braking charges your battery, um, and yeah, you're right. It's like very, very minimal. But why not a freaking? I mean, they could even do like a little freaking alternator powered by the wheel, you know, that basically just charges your battery as the freaking. Because I mean, the technology's there for the regenerative braking, right? So you would imagine the technology would be kind of similar for something on the wheel, or there's no radiator, right? And those things are all electric. They don't have a radiator. So you could put something up in the front grill that is a wind turbine, or, whatever, that freaking does the same thing. All it's got to do is turn a freaking little alternator or something, stator or whatever, that as it spins creates that power, the friction, or however they work it out. But you would think that technology would already be there in the freaking in the cars. I mean, think about that. You have and I will never own one, and I hate them to death. But the Tesla, there's right now they're like the most advanced freaking electric vehicle out there. Why wouldn't freaking alien Musk put a freaking turbine in it that charges the battery off of natural wind? You know, I mean, you think about it. You're going down the freeway. You're doing 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, or whatever. That turbine is going to be spinning just from the force of cutting through the wind. I mean, shit, you could even do it like a hood scoop or a side scoop, or anything like that, um, or multiple. Look at some of your supercars have like the freaking the scoops at the front fender, or the front wheel well area and the front fenders, that freaking let the airflow go through and basically work to freaking push the vehicle down and keep your center of gravity, right? But see, the aerodynamics and the drag, well, that's what they use the scoops for on like the freaking supercars. Um, so you could kind of use them both for the same thing, you would think. Takes more power to push the car forward, and yeah, but you would think to I don't know. I think there'd have to be there's got to be a way to do it. There's got to be a way to do it. I mean, I don't know how you would do it, but there's got to be a way to do it. Yeah, no, that's math and physics. You're not going to get the same. Yeah, you're not going to get. Yeah, unless you're putting in the same, you're going to get out. But there's got to be a way to aerodynamically be able to put something somehow, some way that you can catch the airflow and freaking power a small turbine to charge the battery. It wouldn't even have to be big. It could be like see all these new cars with the little tiny like triangle antenna little thing on them now, where it's not actually like the old 1980s freaking big old steel whip antenna. They just got your little freaking housing for your receiver or whatever in there. It wouldn't have to be a huge scoop. It would just have to be designed the right way to keep your aerodynamics and let enough airflow run in through the system, whether it's pushing a turbine or you know however whatever it's pushing. There's got to be a way to make it work. Yeah, I think the technology's there to do it. With you're right, Falcon. Maybe a combo wind and solar. You could make the freaking. It probably wouldn't even take that big of a solar panel. You could do a little freaking wing on the back of the car, like the little fucking spoiler of solar, and possibly even use that as a point to catch the wind. But I'm not a fucking engineer to know how to make that shit work. I know how to make it look on paper. But I mean, you think about it, right? So you have your air intake on all your gas motors, right? You got your air filter and all that. You don't have all that on your um, electric vehicles. So, all right, so break that down a little bit, Rivers. What do you mean? How are they doing that with the semis in Russia? I haven't really heard much about that. Because it kind of sounds pretty interesting. But I mean, all you would need is a little like you figure at highway speeds, average person on the highway. I can't speak for anywhere else in the country but here. But your average speed on the freeway is 80 to 85 miles an hour out here. So you figure 85-mile-an-hour wind going over the vehicle. All you would need was a little tiny scoop or air intake that could power a freaking turbine somehow, some way to charge that battery. You'd have infinite battery life. Yeah, yeah, you would. You would. Solar is not as efficient as people think it is. But I'm kind of curious about the wind thing because so an electric rod swings up and connects to the system that generates energy and puts it back into the truck. But what's it? So what's that electric rod getting the energy from? That's kind of where I'm curious. I don't know. I think the technology is there to be able to put. You wouldn't need perpetual motion, right? It's exactly what it would be. So years ago, a buddy of mine, um, We were sitting around one night, freaking playing guitar, shooting the shit, stoned out of our fucking minds, thinking about, and this is like 35 years ago. Um, we're talking about, magnetic perpetual motion. How, if you could do it right, you could put magnets into basically a cylinder, um, that with the push pull of the positive negative, um, you could almost create perpetual motion out of that. Now the physics and all that shit behind it, and I'm not sure, but I was almost spiked my iced coffee with shrooms. But oh, it's just the little colored dots on the stream. Yeah. No, David, your iced coffee was totally spiked with shrooms. Yeah, totally the iced coffee. Yeah, because look, if I move my hand in front of the camera, you can't see the see. That's just your coffee. I wouldn't mind if it was spiked. Man, I haven't eaten shrooms in 25 years. I don't know. I'm over here rambling about like wind power and knowing nothing about it. Just thinking about like, I think the technology's got to be there to be able to do it. Just a matter of the design and the how much wind flow versus drag and all that. It's funny. I don't even know where to get shrooms out here anymore. I wouldn't mind. Like, I live in the perfect fucking area for shrooms too. Perfect area. It is, dude. It's fucking. They say the shrooms freaking like trip something in your brain that all of a sudden shit makes sense. That's where we used to back in the day when we'd do shrooms or acid or whatever. We'd go out to the desert and trip out there. And now, like, I live in the desert. I mean, we go a little farther out than I am, but hey, there, I can't pronounce your name. Welcome in. We're just kind of chilling, shooting the shit. I should be asleep and waking up to go to the deer woods in the morning, but you know. Oh, you're in Huntington? Nice. No, I get it. I get it. You're only going to get out a little bit of it, but if you, I don't know. I don't know how it would work to make it work. Basically, yeah. I'm not sure how it would work. That's the you're recouping more energy. Yeah. Yeah, like see that's kind of what gets me is like the regenerative braking. You know, you're transferring that power into power, but you're not getting shit for it. Yeah, if you can find that Rivers, freaking, I'd be really interested to see that. See, and that I get that. You know, you're going to create drag with a scoop or any of that, which is going to kind of basically cancel out what power you would make. But there's got to be a way. I don't know. I don't know how it would work. I don't know how it would work. But there's got to be a way to do it to make it efficient. I mean, on paper, it all sounds great, but when you put it in the freaking wind tunnel and test it, shit's gonna change. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an engineer. I don't know how to make it work, but I'm sure there's got to be a way to freaking. There's got to be a way, or even freaking somehow, some way, connect it to a wheel. You know, so that as the wheel turns, it turns the alternator or whatever you're using to create your power. There's got to be a way to do it. I'm sure somebody somewhere is like tested it or testing it or you know, but you never hear about that shit until it's like, oh yeah, we got this new fucking technology and you can the car can go fucking perpetual motion forever, but you're gonna pay $300,000 for it. It'll happen. Mark my words. One of these days, it will happen. We'll be able to have perpetual energy vehicles. Which, if that was the case, so I'll never buy an electric vehicle ever, 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 ever. But if we had something to where you never have to charge it and you never have to you know fill it up. All right, cool, awesome, thank you, Rivers. Yeah, you're creating drag, which is the same, requires the input to move it, but I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know how it would be able to work, but I think that eventually it's going to be there. I think eventually we're going to have it to where somehow, some way. Oh, it's in Berlin. Okay, okay. Like I said, I'm not an engineer. I'm just now see. I think magnetic. Okay, and again, I'm not an engineer, But I think there'd be a way to do the perpetual energy with magnetics. How you would do it, I'm not sure, but I think magnetics would be able to somehow, some way, you could create a freaking, basically a freaking, in a sense, a turbine that magnetically powers itself. Because you know, the Tesla, yeah, the Tesla coil. They are limited, but I don't know. I just think that, I mean, you look at all the advances in technology in the last, say, 50 years, right? I think in the next 30 years, probably not even 30, probably in the next 20, there will be technology out there that lets you have that perpetual energy. All you need to do is figure out how to create enough energy to basically, like with the electric vehicles, is, where I'm at. All you need to do is create enough energy to create the proper voltage and amperage to keep that battery charged. If you can do that, then you're driving from San Diego to freaking the tip of Maine without having to charge or stop or any of that. I just don't know the math on how to make it work. Math is not my strong suit. I can do common, everyday usable math, but when it comes to figuring like, your freaking energy that you're putting out to make freaking energy that you're, needing to bring in, it's a little different. See, and I always say I was born like 150 years too late. Right? I want to see like, okay, just in my lifetime. I was born in 1975, fucking 50 years ago. Just in my lifetime, the shit that we've seen change is extraordinary. But then you go back to like the 1800s, right? I think I would have been perfect in like the fucking 1860s through the 1880s. I think that would have been my perfect fucking time to be on the planet. But you go back, right? Go back to 1875 and look at the advances we've had between then and 1975. And then 1975 till now. You know, it's fucking incredible. Right. Exactly. Like freaking, I mean, they had like the computers in the 60s that were taking up entire fucking warehouses to do stupid little shit. But, you know, I remember my high school, my ninth grade math teacher, fucking at one point in time in class, he was talking about how he doesn't think that math teachers and math class would actually be relevant because he always said, like, in the near future, um, somehow, some way, everybody's going to have a calculator in their pocket and they won't need to know how to do math. And, all of a sudden, we have a fucking computer in our pocket that makes phone calls and lets you go live on YouTube. Here's a link to the video. Did you post it up on? Where'd you post it up? Falcon, Falcon, Rivers. Right? Electricity in the house, fucking plumbing in the house. I'm really curious. So you remember, like as little kids, watching fucking Saturday morning cartoons, and they always had like on fucking what is it, Looney Tunes or whatever, with fucking Bugs Bunny and all those ones. Fucking there was always that random the cartoon that would be like, oh, and check the House of the Future, and all this kind of weird shit where they had like, oh, we crossed a chicken with a centipede, so now we got a 100-legged chicken. Tried to tag you, but it wouldn't let you. Okay, that's all good. Did you post it on your channel, or where'd you post it? But I always looked at those commercials or those cartoons, and I was like, okay, whatever. You know, the House of the Future, where like at one point they had like freaking um, shit like the car, where the freaking door opens for you, and the car drives you there where you want to go, and fucking that shit's yeah, do it, and I want to check that out. And nowadays, a lot of that shit that we were watching as kids is like starting to come true. I mean, we don't have the 100-leg centipede chickens, but you know, a lot of that shit, freaking dude. I'm thinking in 100 years we're gonna be living in the fucking Jetsons. I think we're gonna have fucking Rosie the robot fucking cleaning our house for us. And you're gonna go to your refrigerator and you're gonna tell it fucking I want a porterhouse, and it's gonna pop a fucking porterhouse and a baked potato out of there for you. Or less, possibly, yeah, the way shit's going. Because you think about it, right? Like, I don't know how old all you guys are. And I know this doesn't go for Rod because fucking Rod's been into computers since, he was little. But for the most of us, like, computers and shit weren't really a thing in school or any of that. And now every kid going to school's got a fucking computer. You don't see a thousand-legged chicken would be practical. Dude, fucking a thousand-legged chicken, man. KFC would only need one chicken a week or a day. 1,000 chicken legs. You raise one centipede chicken and you got fucking 500 packs of chicken. But no, when you think about it now, like kids with computers, I mean, how many of us have gone to like the fucking, like my brother's always talking about like, oh, I go to the grandkids to freaking fix my computer shit now. So they were already doing the lab grown meat though. They've already figured that one out. They're doing the freaking lab grown meat. And actually, what's his nuts? Freaking um, Kennedy, the dude that wanted to be president but didn't, and then fucking Trump hired him for like fucking health secretary or whatever. Um, he's like trying to ban the lab grown meat because they're actually doing like tissue culture and fucking making a whole brand new steak. I don't think I'd trust that shit. That's nothing but fucking chemical. Oh, dude, Kennedy's a fucking whack job. Yeah, but He's a fucking. His voice alone fucking makes me want to punch him in the throat. Dude, I think the lightsabers are coming, to tell you the truth. I mean, technically, we already have them. Lasers. Look, lasers. Yeah, you're right. It's all in the base level fucking growth, but at the same time, you know, like I'm not eating a fucking steak that was created in a petri dish. Mess around the family, right? Right. Now there is the other Kennedy dude from fucking um where is it, like Kentucky or Louisiana or some shit? That's fucking hilarious. But the one dude with the voice that sounds like he was punched in the throat like 400 times. I can't stand that one. I quit paying attention to fucking politics like 8 years ago. It's all the same shit. Yeah, that lab grown meat. I'm right there with you, dude. I don't fucking trust that lab grown shit. You know, like you're gonna tell me you can put a fucking you know couple little fucking tissue culture things in a fucking Tupperware and I can put it in my fridge and in a month I'm gonna have a fucking porterhouse? I don't think so. I don't fucking think so. It's like some chia pet meat right there. I mean, hell, even like it reminds me of a moldy vagina. I don't know, man. If I want, hey, Mr. Rogers, welcome in. I, eh, I don't know, Rod. I don't know if I would fucking try the lab grown meat, man. Unless it fucking moves. In my opinion, it ain't real. Cause like, what's next? Lab grown elk? Yeah, the news is all the same shit, man. I quit watching it. Even the local news. The local news is all bullshit. You guys ever seen those little clips where they're showing like news from like local news stations all over the fucking country, and it's the exact same fucking script? You got the reporter in San Diego saying the exact same script as the reporter in New York. Dude, I'm telling you though, one of these days we're gonna have the fucking Jetsons freaking kitchen where you go in and you tell the freaking little, hey Siri, I want a fucking porterhouse or a fucking ribeye cooked, you know, medium or rare or whatever, and I want a baked potato with freaking everything on it, and freaking asparagus on the side, and it's gonna freaking do its little thing and pop you out a plate of fucking food cooked exactly like you want. It's coming. It's coming. You know what I'm waiting for, and I think this is coming too. Probably not in our lifetime, but I think it's coming. I think they're gonna fucking bring dinosaurs back somehow. You figure, um, Look at like tissue culture with fucking plants. I think they're gonna end up fucking figuring out a way to somehow, some way, fucking revive the fucking DNA from a fucking dinosaur bone, and they're gonna grow a fucking pterodactyl and a freaking T Rex. No, I don't think it'll happen in our lifetime, but I think it's coming. Oh, see? Okay, yeah. All right, so it's already been done. See, I missed that. Genetically modified animals to fucking revive dinosaur DNA. So, if they've already done it, then what's to stop fucking creating another goddamn um a new fucking T Rex or a fucking woolly mammoth, you know? Chickens, fish, crocs, freaking birds. Yeah, yeah, legally you can't create a full dinosaur, but who's to say that fucking some rogue ass country that doesn't have the same laws isn't going to do it? You know what I mean? Hmm. Right? I want some fucking Fred Flintstone style mammoth fucking ribs that I go to the drive-in and they put the fucking thing on my car and it flips my fucking car over. Yeah, see, that's what I'm waiting for is like somebody to actually clone people and do it. Yeah, no, it can be done. Here's the way I look at it, right? If you can take a leaf, okay, and use tissue culture to, from one little fucking cell of that leaf, you can create an entire new plant. I think it can be done with fucking anything. It's just knowing the fucking science behind it and the biology and all that to be able to do it. Dude, I'll tell you what, if they can do that and fucking create a fucking new woolly mammoth out of a fucking elephant, somebody's on the fucking main road on a dirt bike getting some. I think in the next 50 years, we're going to see some incredible shit come out that we never would have thought was possible. I really do. Oh, it's that kid down the street. Okay. Dude, I think it's already being done somewhere and we're just not freaking knowing about it. You know? I mean, think of all this freaking. Right. What in the fuck was that? Hold on, guys. I just heard something back there. I just got this fucking weird ass fucking vibe going all of a sudden. Hang on, hang on. Fuck, what's that? What is it, bud? Go figure it out. Go find it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. You know the dog's tripping right now. I don't know what the fuck that was, but sorry. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I gotta go figure out what the fuck this noise was. What the fuck was that? It sounded like fucking something huge crashing through some of the bushes out here. My dog, like, all of a sudden won't go past where I'm sitting at. I don't know what the hell that was. But all of a sudden I heard something off to my left, like something big over there. All right, let me scroll back because I know I missed a bunch of chat. No, it was bigger than a coyote. Oh yeah, dude, you could take friggin' any of that shit and put it together and make something. Oop, what'd I do? I fucking hit something. What about aliens? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I find it. See, I'm the type of person that, like, I need proof. I need to see something to fucking know whether it's true or not, like aliens, fucking all that kind of shit. I don't know, man. I've seen some shit that I can't explain in the skies, but then again, military. You know what I mean? You never know. I've seen shit out over the deserts that looks like lights of like helicopter or airplane or something over the desert, hauling ass in one direction, and all of a sudden just freaking goes a different direction. Like it'll be going east west, and all of a sudden it's going north south, like on a freaking pinhead it would turn. Yeah, I mean, especially with some of the shit they're coming out with now, like some of the information we're learning now, right? So, like the whole like life on Mars has been a fucking deal for God knows how long, right? But they're finding shit that kind of makes you think that maybe there could have been. Hell, most people can't comprehend the size of their own fucking city these days, let alone the size of the universe. Right? Yeah, we don't know what the fuck's out there. We know what's out there as far as we can reach, and we don't even know that. You know, I mean, fuck. They sent what's that fucking um, the Hubble telescope or whatever it is that they sent out there fucking years and years and years and years ago, and it's still just getting fucking photos of shit that however far out it is, we don't know what the fuck's out there. We don't know how far that goes, right? No, and that's true. We know more about space than we know about the oceans. Oh yeah, we're a fucking speck. You're right. You're right. We're a fucking dot on a fucking. I mean, you think about it, right? Like, think about how far away certain shit is, and right back to the Mars thing. How fucking far away is that? And it takes 5 years to get there. What's fucking 20 years out? What's 30 years out? You know, we don't know what the fuck's out there. What are our problems? Our problems are fucking, we're fucking fat, lazy fucking humans. That's what our problems are. We're fucking, dude, people don't want to go past the end of their fucking street, let alone past the fucking moon. Some of us do. But, I mean, hell, dude, like, you think about it like kids, right? Kids nowadays. Look at them as a perfect fucking example. They don't want to go fucking farther than a video game. Yeah, but that's the problem, Rod. Is like we create fucking problems because it's human nature. Everybody wants to fucking have a problem so they can solve a fucking problem that doesn't exist and didn't need to exist. Oh fuck, that tripped me the fuck out. Lights turned on in the house. I was like, what the fuck? And I looked at the clock. Mrs. SoCal just got home from work. Wait, what? Really? Dude, that would be a trip. Okay, so here, if they can create a fucking woolly mammoth, why can't they create like sturgeon or fucking, all these other fucking endangered shit? I mean, seriously, we have the technology out there to, you see all these fucking animals that are like, oh, they're on the endangered species list. Well, fucking, we can recreate them. We know that, you know, but why won't we? Oh, I know you've been. I know they can create anything we want, but all you need is the right fucking bits and pieces of fucking DNA to make it happen. I mean, shit. They're making meat in a fucking test tube. So I think here's kind of my theory, and my theory in all this like extinction and nature shit, right? Like they're not, they're saying, oh, sturgeon are freaking going away, or um, all these protected fishes, right? I mean, we're all fishermen, so. But so the sand dunes out here at Glamis, they've shut them all down. A huge section of the sand dunes is shut down. Originally, it was because of a lizard, and all the tree huggers and the Sierra Club and all these fucking people went out there, did all these studies that came back inconclusive. So instead, they switched it over to the kangaroo rat. So now all this area is closed down because of the kangaroo rat. There's not enough of them, this and that, right? All of a sudden that comes back. Well, there is enough kangaroo rats. And now they're onto a plant saying, oh, there's not enough of this plant. This is like the only spot, it lives or whatever. So we got to shut all this stuff down. It's all about control. It's all about fucking control. The way I look at it is with the sand dunes out here in particular, you have Glamis, which, everybody fucking knows Glamis. It's in the off road scenes. Then you have Gordonswell, a little bit south of Glamis, which is the exact same set of sand dunes. But for some reason, only a couple areas of the sand dunes out here grow this plant, and they don't grow in Glamis. But here's the thing: all of a sudden, you go out to Glamis on like take this weekend, right? And there's 300,000 people out there. Well, if you keep them all in a smaller area, it's easier to control everybody. So it all comes down to control. Rod ain't fat either. Falcon, if you were Rod's grandma, we'd have bigger problems. This would be a whole different conversation. Hell, if you were anybody's grandma, that'd be a fucking way different conversation. But hey, I mean, it's possible, right? Especially in California. You can make a boy into a girl real quick in this state. All you got to do is put a fucking dude in a beard and a dress, and it's a girl. And no, Mrs. SoCal, we are not getting a dinosaur. Not happening. The dogs and the cat are enough. I don't want to have to clean up dinosaur shit in the backyard. And if we got a dinosaur, what would we do with the cat and dog? Dude, exactly. I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that for years. There's no such thing with a chick with a dick. It's always a dude with tits. Every fucking time. Every time. I don't care what Rosie O'Donnell thinks it has. No, not even a tiny one. Those fuckers are mean. I don't want some toothy ass little fucking dog with an attitude that's going to be fucking tearing up the house and eating everything around it. Actually, where the fuck is she? Oh. I just realized Mrs. SoCal is sitting at the fucking patio tip. No, you would not have it tamed inside of a week. Oh, hell no. That's not cold. I'm sitting out here in shorts. Actually, I need to throw some dirt on this freaking fire pit here. And problem is, I don't know where my fucking shovel is. There's a bucket. Even though it's a little fire pit in my backyard, I still want to make sure that it's like covered up and out, because last thing I want is my backyard to catch on fire. That ain't working as well as I thought, but all right, that'll work. All right. Dude, it seems like you guys live in freaking almost Tornado Alley, but no tornadoes. Freaking Montana's like a wind tunnel, it sounds like. No, if you pee on the fire out here, then it's a fine. Peeing on a fire in California causes cancer. Actually, with all these people identify, like all these dudes identifying as women and all that shit, I want to just start identifying as a fire truck. And every time there's like a house on fire or whatever, I want to go piss in the driveway and charge the city for firefighting. Because, why not, right? But anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it here. Mrs. SoCal just got home from work like 4 hours early, so I'm gonna go hang out with her for a little bit, and it's her Friday night, so we're gonna figure out what we're doing tomorrow. Well, tomorrow I got to do a whole bunch of shit around the house because I told her I would, so that we can go fish Wednesday. So if I don't see you guys here tomorrow on a live, Wednesday we're gonna be Wednesday and Thursday we're gonna be fishing. Thursday I'll be on the boat. So anyways, appreciate you guys hanging out, freaking shooting the shit. Whole freaking live stream about absolutely nothing, which I've been doing too many of those. I need to get out and fish. So I'm gonna go figure it out right now with her. Figure out what we're doing on Wednesday, and then if I don't do a live tomorrow, I'll put up a community post to let everybody know, what's going on for Wednesday. But we're definitely fishing Wednesday. I'm about 100% sure that we're going to go hit that spot we were at last week. A little bit up the road from there, it looks like a way different, way nicer spot. So we might go hit that. So I'll keep you guys informed. But anyway, guys, thanks for being here. Definitely appreciate it. And we'll see you, if not tomorrow, definitely Wednesday and Thursday. Peace, guys.